Hey, what's up guys? So do I have a video for you? So I don't know if you guys were watching my video yesterday, but in my video I said that there is a money making method that would be really good to do, and this is actually the video on that. So this is the easiest money making method that I have actually seen in this game. Now the requirements to get it are pretty, I don't know if I'd say challenging or not, but I mean they're pretty decent. Like you have to get Legends Quest done, you have to get a few fair bit of stats. I don't know how you would say that. A fair, decent bit of stats, I guess you could say. And you have to get the hard diaries done for Karamja. They're not that bad, but overall they are pretty time consuming. I mean, the only thing that I actually had to do for this was Legends Quest, but I actually did Legends Quest for a completely unrelated reason. I think I was just doing it for my Master Clue Scroll, and I just kind of happened to have this done. So this whole, I want to say, I had the easy one done already, obviously. I had the easy achievement diary done for Karamja, because that's like one of the first things I actually did in this game, weirdly enough. The whole task of doing medium and hard diaries for Karamja took me about an hour and a half, which really wasn't that bad. I honestly want to say that the most challenging part about this, or the most, I guess, not even frustrating, and that's not even challenging either, was just finding a way to become the fight pitch champion, but it took me maybe about 45 seconds to just realize you can just use your other account. So I went to the actual Fight Pits world and there was literally no one else there. I kind of had to use my other account for this. So I don't believe you really get much of a benefit from doing this, because I think one time I just won 62 tackle, but then I just kind of went back in a few different times just because it was kind of fun. I mean, look at that red skull. I mean, have you guys ever seen that red skull? If you guys ever legitimately did the fight pits back in the day, then you will know that this red skull actually exists. It's kind of cool to look at. I mean, it's pretty much just aesthetic though. Anyway, achievement diaries aside, the reward that you get from the hard achievement diary is the ability to sell items at 1.75 times their low alc value to the Karamja shop. So what that means is you can buy items like rune plate legs, green d'hide body. There's a lot of different items that you can actually do this with. I mean, all of the items that I bought on screen, I wouldn't even recommend buying these because these are just the items that I used. I mean, you can buy them and it'll be absolutely fine, but all you need to do is buy items that are around their high alc value. So for example, the rune plate legs, if you try to buy them in the Grand Exchange, currently at this point in time, you can buy them for about 41k, you know, 40.5k or 40k 500 GP, and the high alc value is 38.4k. Now the low alc value is 25.6k, so if you times that by 1.75, you get somewhere around 44k. So for every rune pair of rune plate legs that you sell, if you were to buy it for 41k, you make 3k. Now that might not seem like a lot, but if you do that paired up with like 11 different items and you hop worlds, you can be making a decent amount of money per world hop. The one thing that I will say about this is, for those that think that this will be crashing the method of me releasing this video, a lot of people do this anyway. It's also something that is heavily botted by a lot of people, but if you stick to a few different worlds, then you will be able to always sell your items. So the worlds I actually stuck to were worlds 17, 21, 65, and 77. So I stuck to those 4 worlds, and by the time that I go through those 4 worlds, I can go back to the first set of worlds. So you go 17, 21, 65, 77, and then you go back down to 17, and all of the items in the shop will be out of stock. They'll get bought out by the game and just disappear from the game entirely. So if you guys are thinking that you will have to compete with a lot of different people, well, I mean, in a sense you will, because there are already people there, but if you find your own worlds, then you don't have to actually compete with anyone. And there are some people actually doing this in world 325 and 337, but that's a really dumb idea. Don't ever go to those worlds, because truthfully, I might go there and try to see if anyone, you know, PKs, because when I was doing this, I actually did run into people, or not PKs, it's just kind of doing it there, because when I was doing this, I actually did run into people that were selling their items in that world. They might have a teleport, but if you tele-block them, they really don't have much food or anything. There's not really many places that they can escape. So don't do this in a PvP world, because it's not a good idea. It's never worth that extra bit of money that you may or may not make from it, unless you know that for a fact that you can get away, but I mean, it's not really worth it in my opinion. So instead of sitting here showing you how long it took me to sell all of these items, I just pretty much sped it up and I brought you towards the end of my selling of these items, and I invested about 5 mil into these items, and by the end of this you're going to actually see how much money I made in the end. The only thing that you guys really need to be mindful of is, one, other people, and two, there is actually a hop limit. So if you have 2 different accounts that you can do this with, if you have 2 different accounts that you have the achievement diaries completed with, then you will not actually run into the problem of being forced to log out. And if you do only have 1 account, then all I did was I would sit there and wait about 5 minutes and then go and do it again. But I mean, I only got logged out once or twice, so I only really had to wait like 1 minute or 2 minutes just to get back into the rhythm. But if I was doing this for a long time, then I would just sit there and wait for that 5-minute logout timer to go away. And towards the end of this, I was just selling the onyx bolts. So I was just going to random different worlds and kind of hoping that they were not sold out. But it's a common item that is really sold. So overall, this whole process took me about 21 minutes, I want to say. And I was actually selling items that weren't really that peak. Again, I don't recommend buying these items or trying to sell these items. I recommend selling any item that you can find for high alch value that will be worth more if you take the low alch value and times it by 1.75. So the way I explained this before, again, was with the rune plate legs with the 38k and everything. So just go back in the video if you didn't really understand that. So from about 20 minutes or so, I made 587k profit, and that's with not really good items whatsoever. So I want to say that this is probably one of the best methods in the game to make money fast. The thing about this method is that the items are attached to the low alch value, so they can never actually be crashed unless you try and buy the items for more than the high alch value, and it's not near the high alch value. Then the item in theory would be crashed, but there's so many different items that you can do this with. You can literally do this with like hundreds and hundreds of items. So if you're thinking that the items will be crashed or that this method will be crashed by the actual price, then no, there's so many different items that you can use this with. And if you're thinking that the method will crash with other players trying to sell to the shop, well, again, no, because there are already so many players doing it as is, and there are a lot of worlds to begin with. So if everyone were to go and actually do this method and they stuck to their own worlds, then it wouldn't really matter, because I just stuck to 5 worlds, and I want to say there was about 40 or 50 people actually doing this just by looking beforehand and seeing how many people actually do this method. I saw like 40 or 50 different unique accounts. A lot of people actually do this right now. It's not something that isn't well known. All I'm saying is that this method is really good. It's the fastest cash that you can actually make in the game, because there is, in terms of doing the actual method, there is really no skill requirement involved. You already know that it is always going to be a consistent amount of cash an hour, and if I were to keep doing this and I chose a little bit better of items, I know for a fact, even with the amount of people there, I can make at least 1.5 mil. Like, I will say 2 mil, but I mean, I don't actually have the items to prove that, so it's very possible to make 2 mil. The guy that actually found this, Forbesberg, on YouTube, Forbesberg 100, I'm pretty sure he's like a really efficient player. Wait, what is his name even? Let me go check. Forbesberg, GE limits, I don't know. He's like one of the most efficient players in this game, though. He was making about 12 mil an hour from this, and that was even with other people playing or selling items at the shop. But it wasn't that many, because it was pretty much only the efficient people doing it, but he was making somewhere around 12 mil an hour by selling on 2 different accounts. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time with another video. Bye.